This is a quick overview of Xink for IT. Your dashboard, this is the first screen you see when you log in. Here you get a good overview of how your email signatures are updating across your organization. You also see campaign statistics or analytics. So when you, very important menu is the admins menu. This is where you can actually, when you are happy with the everything, how everything is running, you can add a login for your marketing team, and then they can take over the design of the signatures or updating email signature designs. It could be updating campaigns, etc. So in the admins menu, this is where you add Xink administrators, William, for example, and you also set permissions. William is an account administrator. This means he can do everything. He can add administrators and he can delete administrators. Whereas Anne, she is a marketer. That means she has not access to she has not access to the more technical menus, which I will show you just later. But Anne, she can manage signatures, she can manage campaigns, and she can see the employee data that's published from your AD or AD Asia. So basically, I will concentrate on the preferences menu up here, but basically you have the campaigns. This is where marketing design the campaigns and schedule campaigns and monitor tracking, etc. Signatures, this is where you design your company signatures. You can upload existing, or you can design from scratch, copy paste HTML, whatever you prefer. Employees, they are could be updated from Active Directory on premises. It works in a very flexible way where you execute a small executable from a domain PC or Mac. Not Mac, from a domain PC, and with a different set of switches you can read certain information from your Active Directory. It could be first name, last name, job title, telephone numbers, department, things like that. So you define what to read from Active Directory, and the same goes for Azure AD, where you simply connect your Xink account with your Office 365 account, for example, and then you can read from Azure AD. It doesn't require Office 365, but normally it would be something you have together with Office 365. So what you read, for example, Alexander Beck, the information you get here, that could come from your Active Directory. And in the preferences menu, you define what to read from Active Directory. You do this in the fields menu. So for example, these are the standard fields. You can just, those you do not want to read from Active Directory, you can delete them. For example, Street 2 is not a default field in Active Directory. You can just delete it. Or you could map it with the AD attribute name here. That means you could read the Street 2 address from your Active Directory. Normally all the standard fields are mapped with your Active Directory title. That's where you put this information. Only one field you need to be aware of which is a direct phone field, which is not a default field in AD. So in this case, we mapped it to the other telephone field in AD, but you can move it if you store it in pager field or somewhere else. You just remap it here and click save. You can also organize fields, which means, for example, if you want the phone to appear below department, you just drag it here. So when you're happy with the fields, you can just click save. And whenever you open an employee, this is how it will appear. It will show exactly the same fields you defined in the fields menu in preferences. All right. One important thing when you go to fields, we have added a special feature, for example, on the mobile field. A special field called editable by the employee. If you select this, that means you allow employees to update this information in their own signature. It will not be stored or saved back to your AD, but you will allow employees to update this information via their Xink app. I'll just show you. And the reason why we added this feature is because then you are not it does not require you to update everything in AD. You might not know the mobile telephone number for all employees, or you might not know the social media links, for example. You might even not have it stored in your AD. So when you select this field, let's go back to the mobile field here. When you select it as editable, it will appear like this. This is my app on my Windows PC. I'll click on my contact details. I'm now an employee and I am allowed to update my mobile field. That means it will appear in my app here, and I can update here. It will appear in my signature when I write something here or change information here. Another example of using the flexible editable by the employee selection is that you can add, instead of writing best regards or kind regards in the email signature, you can insert a field called sign off, or add a field called sign off, and then allow employees to add their own sign off message. That's another good way of doing it. So you can now when you're connected, or when you're reading the information from AD, it will appear in the employees menu. So the way you do it is that we have a help desk article explaining how it works, but it's basically a executable with different switches you can use. You can read from OU, you can read from a group of users, you can read your whole AD. Keep in mind that it's not anything with your infrastructure or passwords. It's simply the information you need for your email signature deployment. The app. The next step is you have the design ready. Your campaigns are set up. Employees are there, and you need to update employees. You need to deploy to employees. And one way of doing it is that you click on the gear wheel. You can send an invitation email to that employee. That's a manual process, because then the employee will get an email with a password and a username, which they put in the credentials menu, and then that employee is updated by the settings in your Xink account. Another way is deploy the Xink Outlook app via MSI deployment. You can get an MSI deployment package with a certificate, which will connect your MSI package with your Xink account, and then update or install the Xink Outlook app unattended for all employees. This is an easy way to do it. Then you only need to maintain the MSI package, and then you can update all employees without them even have to do anything. Another difference in integration options in the preferences menu is the integrations menu. You can connect with Office 365 account here. This is where you update Outlook on the web, previously Outlook web app. You can update Gmail with the Google Apps for Work. You can even connect with a third or another email system. Could be Salesforce. We have a built-in connection with Salesforce. So that means if you use Salesforce, you can use the same signature you see in Outlook, for example. You can use the same signature in Salesforce when you send emails from Salesforce. And this is where you connect with Azure AD. There are other integration methods. If you have development skills within your company, you can actually go to our website and click on the API integration, where you can code your own functions and integration with other your own email systems. Rules. For large organizations, deployment via rules really makes sense. Signature rules, you can compare it with AD groups or OUs in AD. You simply create a rule and select a certain, make it equal. For example, you can create a rule for department equals sales or IT, and then select the settings, the default signature and the reply forward signature for IT. You can click on test and see which employees are affected or this rule apply for, and then you can click save. Bear in mind that rules work top down. That means when the first rule, when an employee is included in one rule, it will stop. It will not continue to find the employee in the next rule. So top down is a priority. and it's in the same method for you can deploy campaigns. All right, so it's really very simple. There's no installation on servers, and there's no software to maintain. Everything is updated automatically. So normally it will take maybe 45 minutes to get everything up and running, and then you will add, or we suggest you add administrator and a Xink administrator in, for example, your marketing department, and then they can take over. We can even support them if they have questions about the designs and campaigns. Thank you for watching. Bye.